Hello and welcome to Science Monitor, your favorite weekly program on science and technology related news. I am Aishwarya Kapoor. Let us begin by taking a look at the headlines. Mangalyaan remains safe as the comet siding spring fly past close. India ready to test launch the GSLV Mark III rocket soon. Massive hand washing program involving school students to emphasize the importance of proper hand sanitization conducted in Madhya Pradesh. The 5th National Science Film Competition declared. A study by the researchers of Indian Institute of Science reveals the mechanism behind cracking of glass. And in today's In Depth, we will see how the pollution caused during Diwali affects our health. And now news in detail. Mangalyaan is reported to be safe from the impact of the comet siding spring as it passed closest to Mars on 20th of October. Not only did Mangalyaan caught a glimpse of the passing comet, but it has also captured its first celestial event in the form of images. We present you a report.
In a historical cosmic event that occurs once in a million years, the comet siding spring flew past Mars on 20th October 2014 at around 1:40 am Indian Standard Time, approaching within 87,000 miles at a speed of 126,000 miles per hour. This happened to be India's Mangalyaan's first celestial event since its successful insertion in the orbit of Mars on 24th September. According to ISRO scientists, at the time of the comet's closest approach, Mars Orbiter mission, popular as MOM, was at a distance of 88,222 km, while orbiters of other space agencies were more than 135,000 km from the comet. Tests showed that despite the close proximity, the spacecraft is healthy compared to other spacecrafts. The comet's sliding spring made the flyby by Mars in 90 minutes. Though MOM's 5 payloads were active during the flyby, they were deactivated for 3 hours during its closest approach to Mars. This was done in order to protect the instruments from the debris and dust particles that the comet left behind and which could have been hazardous to these sensitive electronic devices. MOM has gathered interesting data about the comet, which includes pictures taken by the Mars Color Camera and data from methane sensors which sniffed for methane in the comet. MOM scientists and their counterparts attached to NASA's MAVEN will collaborate in analyzing the data about the comet. In order to save MOM from the harmful impact of the comet, the orbit of the spacecraft was altered on 6th October. The orbit was shortened to 72,200 km from about 78,000 km at the long end, while keeping the near end from Mars intact at 423 km. As a result, MOM moved behind the red planet when the comet arrived and was protected in the shadow of the planet. Along with MOM, NASA's 5 robotic explorers at Mars, 3 orbiters and 2 rovers and European spacecrafts were also witnesses to the comet flyby.
Following the glorious success of Mangalyaan and PSLV IR-NSS-1C, scientists of ISRO are set to launch GSLV Mark III rocket. Now, one of ISRO's biggest projects this year, GSLV Mark III is designed to launch 4-ton class satellites. The experimental launch will be conducted soon.
ISRO is geared up for missions one after another, with the new feat being the experimental GSLV Mark III flight to test CMM. Following the success of the Mars Orbiter mission on 24th September and PSLV C-26 IRNSS-1C mission on 16th October, the Indian Space Research Organization is ready for an experimental flight of the GSLV Mark III rocket within the next 45 days. The announcement came after the successful launch of IRNSS-1C, the 3rd satellite in the Indian Regional Navigation System, by PSLV-26 last Thursday. One of ISRO's biggest projects this year, GSLV Mark III is the largest rocket India has developed so far. GSLV Mark III, or Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle Mark III, is designed to launch 4-ton class satellites to geostationary orbit and as a launcher for an Indian crew vehicle, that is spacecrafts designed to carry crew members. According to officials, ISRO will also carry out some trials with the crew module with the help of the Air Force before testing the re-entry potential during the experimental flight of GSLV. ISRO scientists are planning to conduct an experiment wherein the crew module model, weighing about 3.7 ton, will be dropped from a height of 3.5 km using parachutes with the help of the Air Force before going ahead with the GSLV trial. The main objective of the experiment mission of GSLV is to study the performance of first and second stages during the first 100 km in the atmosphere, besides external heat standing capacity and thermal properties of the crew module model.
Minister of Science and Technology Dr. Jitendra Singh recently launched a new scheme called Jammu Kashmir Arogya Gram Yojana, under which the scientists of CSIR IIM will help the local farmers to cultivate economically important aromatic plants. Under this scheme, 1,000 villages in the state of Jammu and Kashmir have been identified for the cultivation.
In a novel step towards promoting R&D activities aimed at economic development in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research (CSIR), under the aegis of Ministry of Science and Technology, has launched a new scheme called Jammu Kashmir Arogya Gram Yojana. The scheme was launched by Dr. Jitendra Singh, Union Minister of State Independent Charge for Science and Technology and Earth Sciences in New Delhi on 18th October. Under Jammu Kashmir Arogya Gram Yojana, scientists of CSIR will identify 1,000 villages in the state of Jammu and Kashmir for the growth of aromatic plants with active participation of local farmers and owners of the land. CSIR scientists will assess and identify the agricultural land with the potential for growth of aromatic plants, and along with aroma experts from different parts of the country will educate and train the local farmers to bring up cultivation of aromatic plants. The scientific cultivation of aromatic plants is expected to be highly beneficial economically. It is estimated that this venture can bring in a net profit of Rs 1 to 1.5 lakhs per hectare per annum to the farmers. The project has been launched as part of the new innovative initiatives being undertaken by CSIR and the Ministry of Science and Technology.
We have 1,000 villages identified from Jammu and Kashmir where, I'm putting it in a nutshell, the farmers would be imparted training by scientific experts of the CSIR drawn from different laboratories under the supervision of IIIM Jammu, which specializes in aromatics, and our envisaged objective would be A, to involve them in the nation building process by way of becoming producers of aromatics, which could be of also export quality, B, by also helping them evolve into a different kind of agricultural activity which would also generate significant economy.
CSIR's Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine (IIIM) in Jammu will be the primary CSIR laboratory taking part in this initiative. Researchers of IIIM Jammu have been engaged in research and production of aromatic medicinal and perfumery products for several decades now. Some of the products produced by CSIR IIIM are exported internationally. Under the Jammu Kashmir Arogya Gram Yojana, CSIR will provide 9 varieties of scientifically tested and commercially beneficial plant saplings to the farmers. The project will start from the border district of Kathua.
According to the reports of the UNICEF, about 600 children die every day in India due to diarrhea and respiratory illnesses. The most effective and scientifically proven method to prevent these diseases is proper hand sanitization. Washing hands properly kills the disease-causing germs like bacteria and viruses. On the occasion of Global Hand Washing Day, emphasizing the need of proper hand sanitization, a massive hand washing program involving school students was conducted in Madhya Pradesh.
A massive effort towards promoting proper methods of hand washing and sanitization was launched under the Clean Madhya Bharat campaign on 15th October in Madhya Pradesh, marking Global Hand Washing Day. Under this initiative, a large-scale hand-washing program involving lakhs of school students was organized by the Madhya Pradesh government in association with the Madhya Pradesh Technical Assistance Support Team and Water Ed. The program was aimed at promoting cleanliness and improvement in health conditions. Under this Guinness record-winning feat, about 26 lakh students across 20,000 schools in the state participated in hand washing using soap and water within a span of 1 hour. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister initiated the program by washing the hands of children. Recollecting his school days, the leader narrated how sanitization was an important regimen during his childhood. The program was organized as per the rules and regulations of the Guinness Book of World Records. The current record for such a feat exists for an event organized by the Pan American Health Organization on 14th October 2011 in Argentina, Peru and Mexico in South America. Under this program, 7,40,870 people washed their hands simultaneously. Did the massive hand washing initiative in Madhya Pradesh involving lakhs of children make it to the Guinness World Record will be known later, but the program has played a crucial role in spreading awareness about the importance of proper hand sanitation among the public.
Vigyan Prasar has announced the 5th National Science Film Festival and Competition. Entries are being invited for various categories of science films. The last date for submission of film entries is 15th of December 2014. Let us see the details in this report.
Vigyan Prasar, Department of Science and Technology in association with the National Council of Science Museums, Ministry of Culture has announced the 5th National Science Film Festival and Competition 2015. The contest is to be held during 4th to 8th February 2015 in the regional science city, Lucknow. Popular as Rashtriya Vigyan Chalchitra Mela or RVCM, the film festival and competition aims to encourage the production of science films in the country. RVCM 2015 is open for science, environment, health and technology-based films produced between 1st October 2013 and 15th December 2014. The contest is open to government, non-government institutions, individual producers, production agencies, media centers, television channels, academic and research institutions, universities and schools. The last date for submission of entries is 15th December 2014. Films on science, technology, health and environment can be submitted under various categories. Winners every year are awarded the prestigious Beaver Awards, which include Golden, Silver and Bronze Beaver Awards along with cash prizes, trophies and certificates. Besides, there are also special awards for technical excellence in cinematography, editing, graphics, animation and special effects and sound recording and design. The details of the contest is available at the Vigyan Prasar website, that is www.vigyanprasar.gov.in.
Researchers of Indian Institute of Science have for the first time discovered the mechanism of cracking of glass. Though it sounds like a common process, the study explains the entire dynamics and mechanism behind cracking of glass. The study is expected to aid in the production of stronger glass with advanced properties.
Now, in an interesting new study, researchers of the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore have provided new insights into the mechanism of cracking of glass. In this study, IISc professors U. Ramamurthy and R. Narasimhan used glass made from metallic alloys. Metallic glass is generated by rapidly cooling metallic liquids. The researchers have closely observed and studied the fractured surface of brittle, bulk metallic glass rods to learn how cracking occurs. According to the scientists, they could identify unique patterns indicative of fracture due to brittleness. Explaining the process of glass cracking, the team says that fracture in a glass starts with the formation of a cavity which expands to create cracks. The cracks in turn break out as finer channels as they travel away from the origin. Apart from the typical brittle fracture features, they also observed unique structures called Wallner lines, which are arc-like structures that form on the fractured surface. These arcs are created when the crest of expanding cracks interacts with vibrations generated in the material during rapid fracture. Using the geometry of Wallner lines, researchers estimated the maximum velocity of crack propagation to be 800 ms. When the researchers further zoomed into the fracture surface, they also observed regular nanoscale trenches cutting across the material formed during crack extension.
And now it is time to take a short break. We'll be right back. Keep watching Science Monitor. Welcome back. After the break, you're watching Science Monitor. Like every year, this year also Diwali saw the massive use of fireworks and crackers, which has indeed left a huge impact on our environment. But the poisonous smoke and sound emitted by the fireworks not only caused air and noise pollution, but has also affected our health in drastic ways. So how does the pollution increases during Diwali days and how does it impact our health? Well, this would be the topic of our discussion in today's In Focus.
Diwali is a festival of lights and happiness. Lights, sweets and fireworks are all around to the fullest. This festival, celebrated on the dark night of Amavasya or no moon, fills the whole sky with lights. We are so engrossed in celebrating Diwali that one does not know when and how much toxic fumes are added to the environment by our very act. There was not much noise from the crackers on this Diwali, but air pollution crossed its limits. Every effort made to save the environment seemed to have been lost during Diwali celebrations. You will be wondering why we are talking about these things when Diwali is over. In fact, it is very necessary to know for all of us that how much damage has been caused to us and to the environment by these fireworks. Because whenever we harm the nature, then we play havoc with our future, knowingly or unknowingly. The crackers and fireworks which we use during Diwali contain such chemicals which harm the environment. The main pollutants among these are copper, cadmium, sulfur, aluminium, barium, etc. In addition to the substances which produce smoke, harmful elements are also present in crackers which emit light which not only are harmful for the environment but for our health also. Pollutants such as heavy metals like lead, cadmium, zinc, silver, etc. remain in the environment for days together which affect food chain of the plants very badly. Fireworks contain chemicals like charcoal, sulfur, nitrates, chlorates, perchlorates, etc. and other such chemicals which produce toxic gases on burning. These pollutants produced during Diwali and being accumulated in the lower atmospheric layer keep harming life on Earth till many days after Diwali. According to the research done by the Chest Research Foundation, Pune, the sulfur dioxide level in the atmosphere increases by 200 folds above safety level during bursting of crackers. Breathing is very badly affected among 26% of the people. During this period, these are affected due to allergy, burning in the eyes, cough, etc. in addition to mucus being deposited in the throat. Fireworks which we use during Diwali contain 75% potassium nitrate, 15% carbon and 10% sulfur which produce on burning harmful gases like sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide in addition to manganese, cadmium, etc. which become the main cause of asthma along with restricting the supply of oxygen to the lungs. The excess of copper in the atmosphere makes our food toxic. The presence of cadmium affects breathing, digestion, lower levels of skin and blood circulation in the veins, which also causes high blood pressure. Lead affects human central nervous system, due to which the possibility of lung and kidney cancers also increases sometimes. The presence of this in the youth causes tensions in the brain nerves. When magnesium dust and its smoke reach our body through food and breathing, then these can cause brain fever and in some circumstances start affecting the nervous system. Presence of manganese weakens the body, and in addition to weakness and tiredness, possibility of paralysis also increases. Sodium affects living cells of the body. In addition to these, zinc, nitrates, nitrites, potassium, phosphorus and sulfur not only affect our health but also harms all flora and fauna. Therefore, everybody is requested not to use these fireworks and explosives during this festival of lamps. If every one of us really wants to live a healthy life, then while respecting nature, we should resist it. Let us boycott every toxic substance which pollutes the environment. Then and only then, all of us can imagine the real existence of a healthy and a bright future.
And what are the contributions of science to this week's history? We shall learn in our next segment, History of Science.
On October 26, 1959, the world first saw the dark side of the moon as its pictures were released. These pictures were taken by Soviet Russia spaceship Leonid 3. The moon rotates around the Earth at the same pace as it rotates around its own axis, hence only one side of its surface is visible to us from the Earth. The famous American physician Johannes Edward Salk was born on October 28, 1914. Although he got a medical degree, yet he was more interested in pursuing medical research. He developed the first effective vaccine against poliomyelitis. He separated 3 different strains of the virus and developed a vaccine which was tested successfully on a large scale in 1952. The great Indian scientist Homi Jahangir Bhabha was born on October 30, 1909. He did a deep research on cosmic rays and later set about making the country self-reliant on nuclear power. This is why he is called the father of the Indian nuclear energy program. He laid the foundation of the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research and also became the first chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission when it was founded in 1948. Narendra Singh Kepni, the famous American scientist of Indian origin, was born on October 31, 1926. He was one of the first persons to work on fiber optics in the country and has often been called the father of fiber optics. This technology has revolutionized many fields like medical treatment, energy transmission, communications, laser technology, etc.
Let us now have a look at some important science and technology activities happening in India and abroad in our next segment, Science Express.
In an exciting new paleontological discovery, researchers of Venezuela's Institute of Scientific Investigations have discovered the remains of a unique carnivorous dinosaur from Táchira in western Venezuela. Scientists have named this newly discovered species Tachyraptor admirabilis. The remains that consist of hip and tibia bones reveals that the species may have lived in the initial Jurassic phase and could have been the ancestor of the T-Rex dinosaur. The fossil is expected to provide the missing links in the evolution and extinction of dinosaurs. In an innovative new study, a team of researchers from Columbia Engineering and the Georgia Institute of Technology have proposed using clothes made of molybdenum disulfide to charge mobiles and wearable devices. In a sense, it means that one may now be able to charge the mobile with his or her pants and a smartwatch can be charged using the shirt. The technology is based on the unique property of certain materials like molybdenum disulfide called piezoelectricity, in which stretching or compressing a material causes it to generate an electrical voltage. And in encouraging news, Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Minister of State for Science and Technology, has announced the much-awaited hike in the Fellowship of Research Scholars. The hike has been based on the recommendations of an interministerial meeting for this budgetary implication. The revised fellowship scheme is to be effective from 1st October 2014 and a web-based fellowship assessment and disbursement mechanism is being set in place to avoid delays in disbursement. Indian origin scientist Dr. Vikram Patel has been awarded the prestigious Sarnath Prize 2014 of the US-based Institute of Medicine for his outstanding contributions towards improving mental health care in developing countries. Dr. Patel is Professor of International Mental Health and Wellcome Trust. He has conducted groundbreaking epidemiological research that revealed the burden of mental disorders in low and middle-income nations and showed a strong link between mental disorders and poverty. Dr. Patel was presented with the Sarnath Prize, which consists of a medal and $20,000 at IOM's annual meeting in Washington. As a result of the massive campaign launched by the forest officials, Nagaland is now globally acknowledged as the falcon capital for conservation. According to reports, while till 2 years ago, the migratory Amur falcon birds were widely hunted by the locals for food, the birds are now protected by the community. Amur falcons are special migratory birds which, while migrating to African subcontinent every winter to escape the extreme cold of Siberia, roost in Nagaland for over a month. According to reports, the first batch of Amur falcons arrived in the Doyang Reservoir last week. These birds are becoming a popular tourist attraction of Nagaland during winters. Indian origin plant scientist Dr. Sanjay Rajaram has been awarded the prestigious World Food Prize for the year 2014. The $250,000 worth prize was awarded to Dr. Rajaram in recognition of his contribution towards increasing global wheat production. Dr. Rajaram is known for successfully crossbreeding distinct gene pools of winter and spring wheat varieties and developing more than 480 high-yielding varieties of wheat. These new high-yielding wheat varieties developed by Dr. Rajaram are used in 51 countries on 6 continents and have been widely adopted by small and large-scale farmers alike.
Well, that is all for this episode of Science Monitor. Do tell us, how do you like our program? You can send your feedback and suggestions. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar, C24, Qutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. Well, that is all for today. We'll be back with fresh news stories on science and technology again next week. Till then, stay tuned and goodbye.